Welcome to Jordan's Cereals. We'd like to take the chance to explain a little bit about conservation grade farming.
We're in North Yorkshire, but we could be on any one of the Jordan's conservation grade farms. Jordan's produce food that is good for you, but it's also good for wildlife. All the Jordan growers have to meet an environmental standard that through the research guarantees that we increase the wildlife on the farm. We're in a meadow which is now a blaze of colour. It was sown a couple of years ago, which shows what farmers really can do if they're asked to deliver wildlife on a farm.
What we've been told by nutritionists is that the nutrition is actually in the whole grain. You don't want to refine it. As flour millers, we used to take off the husk and make white flour or 100% extraction, whole wheat flour. Nowadays, of course, the trend is to do the whole wheat, whole grains version, which is what we've pretty much been doing for most of those 150 years. We want to refine the product as little as possible. We want to grow it as simply as possible. We want to use inputs that aren't going to upset the grain or spoil it. And that's really what conservation grade is all about for us.
Behind me, the farmer produces food. In front of me, he produces wildlife. What he's done, he's sown a mixture so that wildlife and food production sit together in perfect harmony.
As soon as we realised that it was about not refining and not over-processing the food, we worked back down the food chain, and we now work with farmers, around 80 at the moment, who basically they are farming for wildlife, and that very much fits into our mentality, our vision, if you like. We feel that we can, as a small producer, be helping the British farmer, who we've been working with for a long time anyway.
Not only can you see the wildlife, but you can hear it. This only happens where farming and wildlife come together. There's a skylark above us, I can hear. Our research has shown that the skylark on this farm, because we've married wildlife and farming together, has gone up by about 10 times. Upton provides for Jordans both the food Jordans need and the wildlife Jordans demand.
What you find is that you get bumblebees in different parts of the margin at different times, and the bumblebee can complete its whole life cycle within this 20-metre margin. It's got everything it needs.
Conservation grade has been in operation for at least 20 years, but over the last 2 or 3 years, with the changes in government direction for farmers, Jordans have upped their game. Through science, through research, through farmer training, Jordans have developed a unique farming and wildlife protocol. The 7 elements of conservation grade farming are: set 10% of your land aside for wildlife habitats, membership of an assured food standard scheme, create a farm environmental plan, attend the training courses, comply with the conservation grade production standards, pass an annual verification, and be a member of the Guild of Conservation Grade Growers.
We think it's got to happen in a much bigger way. I mean, Jordan's is a small player, but we think, basically a lot of British food producers around the world have got to sort of reconnect with the countryside and with farmers. I don't think you can ever say you've got it completely right, but I think, sort of hand on heart, we've done a pretty good job working with farmers and scientists and environmentalists and conservationists to come up with a scheme which most definitely does help wildlife. We've got the figures to prove that, and I think, encouragingly nowadays, we're finding there's an awful lot of consumers out there who like buying these sort of products because they feel they are helping.